Hey guys, so what's going on here? Yeah, what's this? So, I've recently been trying out a few new VR experiences. This is one of them. It's called Nature Trek VR, or Nature Treks VR. Because there's a few different kind of, as you'll see as this video goes on, there's a fair few different kind of environments you can just kind of like hang around in, and the music that you're hearing is it's quite a new album actually by Pliny. Let me just find out which album that is. Sorry about the mouse cursor there. I forget what it's called, but I've got the music in the background. I should tell you what it's called. Yes, there you go. It's called Impulse Voices. And I think it was just a couple of months ago it released or something like that. Really cool, progressive kind of melodic metal instrumental group. But anyway, that aside. So why have we got some crazy VR kind of stuff going on? Well, basically, there's aside from the fact that just VR is really interesting and cool. Recently, I think quite a lot of people have been struggling with not having things be normal, basically, and generally, to be honest, I've been alright because I have been. Nothing much has changed for me with this whole kind of lockdown and business and whatnot. But over the past few weeks, I've been I don't know. It's been really hectic at work and kind of I don't know. Just you know, you get into that kind of cycle where you kind of repeating the same things over and over, and you seem to be a bit stuck in a rut. And I think at the moment it's difficult if you want to try and kind of change that. But like I say, I'm generally alright, and really I'm super lucky to even have a job at the moment. But everything's, relative. But yeah, so I was on a bit of a hunt for some like really chilled out VR experiences, and after playing a few different things recently, some of them chilled out, some of them not quite so chilled out. I had watched a video of some recommended stuff, and this was one of the titles on like a top list of games and whatnot. And so I thought I'd jump in and have a look and see what it's all about. And yeah, it's really kind of immersive. Loads of things you can mess about with, like every scene's got like a couple of different times a day, maybe a couple of different weathers, some animals pottering about here or there, which do have some pretty funny animations at times. But yeah, and it's been really nice to be able to kind of, like for me, put on some tunes and kind of explore these worlds in VR. And I think there's like kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to do a VR video is just to kind of go down the rabbit hole of kind of discussing the possibilities really with VR, because there's been a lot of things that have changed quite substantially, especially with a lot of people's work. Not mine, because like I say, everything's pretty much normal at our place, but except busy. But there's a lot of people kind of working from home and like not seeing people as much as they usually would, and but VR has got such amazing potential for being able to put people kind of with each other. I mean, you don't really understand it until you put a headset on yourself and, I don't know, maybe done something online in VR with other people. You really feel like you're there. Yeah, sorry for the kind of flashing going on when it's changing between levels here or whatever. It is a little bit of a janky setup because I'm playing via virtual desktop, going wirelessly to the Quest 2, which it's it's not officially supported, but I mean it's widely used. It just lets you play games wirelessly, but I don't know if it flashes like that when you're playing on playing with, like, hooked up to the PC or with a Windows Mixed Reality headset, or like just a different headset basically. But yeah, some of these environments are really stunning, and you could, like I say, you can just bob some tunes on and you're away. I think this would be even better if you could do it like with a friend online. Although saying that, I don't think anyone that I know has VR, so I can't really like, there's loads of stuff like you could play mini golf, or lots of like things like poker and other kind of mini games that you can do online. There's obviously VR chat and all that kind of stuff, which I've downloaded, but I haven't really been motivated enough to load it up yet, but I'm sure that'll happen. I'm sure that video will come at some point. But it's just, I don't know, I just have this worry that it's going to be just like, you know, a load of 13-year-olds just being like super memey and stuff. So I don't know, I think it would just be a bit odd, but I will certainly try it at some point, see, because who knows, right? You might see a load of other people your own age kind of going, oh, I don't know what all this is about, or whatever, you know. But yeah, so Nature Treks VR was a really cool find. I think it was about £8 on Steam, something like that. And I mean, it's not a game at all. There's no like kind of objective, or there's like, you know, no characters, no dialogue, no anything like that. It's just, these are the environments. You've got a couple of settings to mess about with, and yeah, go explore, look at some animals, experience some things, and I find it does work really well with music. There is in-game music. You'll see me kind of turning it off every time I go into a new level, just so it doesn't kind of clash with the plenty that I've got going on in the background. And yeah, and I think this one you can start get a thunderstorm going, and I can imagine that being really cool. But yeah, like I say, so there's so much scope in VR for folks to meet up without meeting up, basically, and yeah, I can just imagine kind of, VR's one of those things where you can really see the future potential of it when you're using it. Like, obviously with it like a 2D representation of what's going on, it's always gonna not look very impressive, and I can understand people seeing stuff like this and going, well, you know, it looks like some okay computer graphics, it's like, you know, CGI is okay and whatever, but the feeling of actually being inside this, and this is like 360 all around you, this panning around is me looking around like this with the headset, and yeah, and obviously you don't get any kind of it doesn't kind of give you any idea of the depth that you see in here, like how things look when you're looking through the lenses. It's really kind of simple but also complicated technology, because it's simulating the way that we see. So it's usually two screens or one screen split up into two halves, and each one is a slightly different angle, like kind of pointing inwards like that at like a focus point, and so each one represents each eye, and then you get the lenses on the headset kind of making it look in like 3D, and things do look to scale. Like I was playing Vader Immortal, which is like I think it's exclusive to Quest at the moment, but I'm not sure, but it's obviously a Star Wars thing where you kind of like going around doing lightsabery type stuff, and I mean the graphics aren't quite as good on that as something like this, for example, kind of definitely like the scenery, because anything further away than like the characters and tools that you're interacting with is noticeably like a quite a big downgrade from something like this. But like the characters in front of you are quite highly detailed, and to have like Darth Vader standing right there in front of you, it's really weird. Because you kind of, like I say, you get the scale of things. Like even if you're watching a film or something, you don't really get it's always like you're watching from a distance. Even when there's like close-ups and stuff like that, you don't feel like that. But something like this, like looking up at these dinosaurs here, going, whoa, oh my days, they look huge in the game. Yeah, and just watching it back is kind of like reminded me of how cool it was to spy all these dinosaurs and stuff. Yeah, so we'll see maybe 1 or 2 more environments of this before I decide to kind of change up and go on to another. I think the next experience was like a free one. So if you've got if you've got Steam and a VR headset that you can connect up to your PC in one way, shape or form or another, then you can definitely do that other one free. But that's not as kind of like interactive as this one. But we'll see that when we get there anyway. But yeah, so you see there's Triceratops, and there's some other dinosaurs. There's some maybe pterodactyls. I don't know which dinosaurs the birds are, but pterodactyl are the only dinosaur bird name that I know, so let's go with that. Yeah, and the lighting's really cool. There's a lot of interesting effects, and you can just kind of get lost for a bit. I'm not going to say like you'd sit here and play this all night, or that you'd be coming back to it all the time. But it's just a nice break from the norm. If you're feeling like you've maybe had a bit of a stressful or rough day or something, put on some of your favourite music and go ahead. There is music in game, like I said before, but I'm a bit of a music nerd, so any opportunity to have a bit of a playlist going on, and I'm there. That's one of the reasons I got into strategy games so much. Apart from them being interesting, the fact that you can have like get a playlist going. It's funny when I'm changing scenes here. So I think there's maybe 1 or 2 more places that I go to maybe. Yeah, we go to Blue Moon, but I don't stay there for very long, I don't think, because it doesn't seem like there was as much stuff going on there as in some of the others. I'm probably going to dip out the bits where it's kind of loading between levels, just because there's no reason to have a lot of flashing images on a screen when you don't have to. Although on that point, the Cyberpunk changed the animation for when you go into brain dance because of people suffering from epilepsy, and the possibility that it could cause a fit. But what I would say is, fair play to them for changing it, but if you could give people the option to change it back to the old one, because the previous effect was really, really good. So if you had it like with things like that, you should always obviously have it set to default as off. But if you just had a little switch in the menu for changing the animation back, that would have been nice, because for the people that were playing it early on, that was like a really kind of dazzling effect. You're like, whoa, this is really interesting. And then now it's just kind of a bit like, okay, whatever. But that's going off topic anyway. But yeah, so there's as you saw, like there's a handful of different kind of scenes that you can go to, and I think, to be fair, a lot of VR games are quite fairly priced, because a lot of them are either not full games and are just kind of experiences, or if they are kind of more of a game, then they're usually quite short or not very well detailed. So it's quite rare that there's a VR game that's like more than, I don't know, £20 or something like that, and the ones that are usually worth the extra money. Like I've still got to play Half-Life Alyx at some point, but that's a full price game, so it's going to be a while before I get my hands on that. yeah, I think I spend a little bit of time in this one. But yeah, I've been having quite a lot of fun with the Quest 2. I will bring up though that I think they need to sort out some quality control at Facebook or Oculus or wherever it is that they're actually being made or assembled, because there's a problem with the lenses really that I never experienced on PlayStation VR. So anything that's not kind of dead center in your field of view, it gets really really blurry, and there's like towards the edges that like you can see two of something, like it's double vision basically if there's text or anything that's high contrast. And I noticed it on my headset when I got it, and I was backwards and forwards with Oculus support, and they said to return it. They said yeah, okay, so sent it off to where was it? Was it Czech? It was somewhere in Europe, and they sent us a new one, and the new one's pretty much just the same, if not worse. And I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the something to do with the lenses, because it's in both eyes. I don't think it's anything to do with the screen or anything like that. I think it's like the quality of the lenses basically, or the coating on them or something like that. Like I say, as you get off towards the edges, it just starts to get blurred. But it's a shame because otherwise it's a really high resolution headset. Everything looks, if you're looking straight forward, everything looks really crisp. Yeah, it's the controls and tracking are really good. The room scaling's really good, but then you've just got like this weird like low quality lenses. I don't know, it's a cheaper headset, but it shouldn't really be like that. So I'm kind of debating whether or not to keep sending them back until I get one with some good lenses. I mean, you know, you when you're paying like £300 or something, you want it to be right, don't you? But then I'd have to be without it for another couple of weeks, so I don't know. It's really nice to have it. to not have it seems to, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so you see here we're on a beach one, which is pretty cool. We'll see another beach soon that'll kind of blow this out of the water though. But yeah, like I said, the lighting is great. It helps to have Pliny with some awesome guitars going on in the background as well. It's always a help. But yeah, can you imagine something like this? But then there's like, I don't know, there's like a populated island, and you have to go around and do quests and stuff for folks, or I don't know, maybe just a online thing where people are just mucking about. Well, I suppose that's what VR chat is, so I might have to check that out at some point. I think there's another one as well it's called something else that's a free one on Steam as well as VR chat. But yeah, looking at some of these landscapes, and that's the thing as well, it has to be quite high resolution for this kind of stuff to work, because I noticed when I was using PlayStation VR, although that didn't suffer from any of those kind of lens problems and things like that, what it did do, what it did suffer from was quite a low resolution. So you would anything that was in the distance would be quite would be just, you won't be able to make anything out. Whereas on the Quest here, even at quite, it obviously depends on the draw distance in whatever experience or game you're playing, but stuff in the distance is still quite crisp and clear on this headset with the higher resolution. Oh, yeah. And yeah, as you can see, it's can be a beautiful game when you catch things at the right time, like this stag here. That's the thing as well. I think things are a little better at a distance, because when you get close up to the animals, it's really obvious that they're CGI. But from a distance, you could almost mistake them for real animals. Crazy. Yeah, where you see that note and the line through it, that's me turning the music off in game. But yeah, if you're a fan of nature and such, I'd definitely recommend some chilled out VR experiences like this. Like I say, for it's £7 or something on Steam. You can get it on the on the Quest store if you do have a Quest headset. But I was thinking for something like this, graphics are probably the most important thing, because you're basically just walking around looking at stuff. And so I thought a better option is probably to get it on PC. Means I can't play it elsewhere, but I won't really want to play this out and about. In fact, there's very few games I'd want to play out and about, but there's some games that I definitely want to have on the headset in case I want to show it off to anyone or anything like that. So Beat Saber's one of them, and I'm sure, and I think I got the Vader Immortal on the headset, and another game that you'll see in a little bit I got on the headset as well. Once we're through with these kind of relaxing scenario type things, there's another type of relaxing game that I'll probably just let run in the background, because being able to having to watch it through, you'll understand when we get there, but having to watch it through is probably not going to be fun for me. Yeah, but yeah, I hope you don't mind, by the way, the kind of just chilled out videos where I'm just talking and just kind of rambling on. I obviously don't have a script or anything worked out, just off the cuff, kind of just been experiencing this and then decided, oh yeah, you can record on the Quest, so why don't I do that? So this is what was it, meditation VR or something to that effect. This is the free one I was talking about, again on Steam, and so what this one is literally just this beach here, and you can when you load it up and first get into it, there's music going on, and you can and there's a voice that guides you through a really simple kind of start to a meditation, focusing on your breathing and things in the environment and stuff like that, and as you're doing it, the sun sets, and it's really quite cool. Especially for a free experience. And I noticed in the menu as well, it said there was another environment, but it's not released yet, so I don't know when that's going to be coming out, but that'll be cool. But there's some really cool things here. The sound design is really good, the waves and the birds and things, and the wind and things of that manner, and there's some cool little details that pop up. So crab scuttling across the sand, or a lizard climbing up the tree, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think Pliny knock it out of the park. They're a really good band to have on as background music for something like this. Maybe when they go a bit heavy, it's not quite fitting, but they're kind of really spacey. Delays and reverbs, but look, just look at the graphics here with the sand. It looks so much of it looks almost photorealistic. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's those there, and then I'm going to exit Steam here now, and we're going to play. I'm going to get into another game that I have loaded onto the headset. Which is called Cubism, which you can see about to load up here. And this is another really chill game, and I've been loving this. I think I've nearly completed it now. I've only got a couple of puzzles left to go, but yeah, it's really simple. You just it's me getting the controllers back in my hands. You grab blocks and you put them in somewhere. You put them inside other blocks, and you make you solve puzzles, and they get harder as you go on, as you would expect. And yeah, it's really nice. So you see here, I go back to the 9th one. I was struggling with this one last night, and I just no matter which way and order I was putting things in, I didn't manage to come out with solving the puzzle. But yeah, then I just kind of I think I just got super lucky and kind of put everything in the right place straight away or something on this, because it went really. I remember it going really quick, and I was just like, oh, okay, that was easy. What was my problem? But obviously, I think it's one of those things where your brain has a bit of time to work stuff out when you go to sleep, and then yeah, whatever. But yeah, so I hope I bored everyone stupid with just ranting on about VR and stuff. But I think experiences like some of the ones that we've seen in this video can really have potential for really helping you out when you've had a bit of a rough day, or when you just fancy a bit of a change of scenery, or you are like I was saying before with some of the more social apps, when you're in a position where you can't meet people and it would be nice to do so. Yeah, so like I say, I hope I haven't bored you too much, but if you're up for a bit more of a video, watch me spend about, I don't know, what's it going to be, about 20 minutes try to solve the next puzzle. This does go in here, this block, it's just kind of a bit of a job getting in. But yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys. I shall leave you with the next puzzle here, and I'll catch you in the next step. Alright, bye.
Bye.